Hello everyone, it's Marie. I made this wonderful double-sided bracelet and I want to share with you the process of making it. This bracelet consists of double-sided hexagons. First, in the video I'll show you how to make a 3-color hexagon like this. Then I'll show you how to make a 2-color one like this and how to connect these elements with each other. And at the end I will show you how to attach the clasp. In addition to this bracelet I made this ring. Write in the comments if you like it, I will also make a tutorial on it. It's very easy to make and looks just great. For this tutorial I'm going to use these 3 colors of delica beads. These colors don't shimmer and are quite contrasty, which will make this tutorial easy to understand. Also I used white Miyuki beading thread and Miyuki beading needle. For clasp I used slider and cups with lobster clasp and extender chain. Later in the video I'll show you how I decided to attach this clasp to my bracelet. Also we need pliers and scissors. So let's begin. For each element I take a thread about 110 cm long, and at the very beginning we need to collect 36 beads in the following sequence: 1 orange, 5 green, 1 orange, 5 brown, 1 orange, 5 green, 1 orange, 5 brown, 1 orange, 5 green, 1 orange and 5 brown. Pull these beads down and leave the short end not too long. It should be enough to make a few knots, and then we will cut off it so it doesn't get in the way. Then we need to pass the needle through all of these beads, but from the opposite side, like this. We should get a ring like this. Now we need to make several knots. 3 is usually enough. Then you can cut off the short end. Now we need to pass the needle through 2 beads. We need our thread to come out of the first green bead after the orange one. Next we will use the Peyote technique. The only difference is the amount of beads on the turns. Our turns are indicated by orange beads. Now we are on the green part, so we need to pick up 1 green bead, then skip 1 bead and pass the needle through the next one. Next, we again pick up 1 green bead, skip 1 and pass the needle through the next one. Now we have reached the turn, and here we need to pick up 2 orange beads, then skip the orange bead and pass the needle through the brown one, like this. Now we are on the brown part, so take 1 brown bead, then skip 1 bead and pass the needle through the next one. And again, take 1 brown bead, then skip 1 bead and pass the needle through the next one. Further, until the end of this row, the steps will be repeated. On the green part, we will pick up 1 green bead twice, then 2 orange beads on the corner, then 1 brown bead twice on the brown part, and then again 2 orange beads on the corner, and so on. In this row we only need to add 2 orange beads, and we will immediately move on to the next row. To move to the next row, we need to skip the orange bead and pass the needle through the 2 green beads once, like this. And we are ready to continue. Now we are on the green part, so we pick up 1 green bead, skip 1 bead and go through the next one with the needle. Then we need to pick up 1 green bead and pass the needle through first orange bead at the corner. Now we need to pick up 1 orange bead and pass the needle through the next bead without skipping anything, like this. Now we move to the brown part. Take the brown bead and pass the needle through the protruding bead. Again, we pick up 1 brown bead, then skip 1 bead and pass the needle through the protruding bead. Now we need to pick up brown bead again and pass the needle through the first orange bead at the corner. And next step is pick up 1 orange bead and pass the needle through the next bead without skipping anything. Next, we need to repeat these steps until the end of this row. To complete this row, we only need to place one green bead. We pick up one green bead, skip one bead, and to move to the next row, we pass the needle through two beads, like this. And we are ready to continue. On this row, only brown and green beads will be used. And since we are now on the green part, we pick up one green bead and pass the needle through the nearest protruding bead. And again, we pick up one green bead and pass the needle now through the orange bead. Now we are on the brown part. Pick up one brown bead and pass the needle through the nearest protruding bead. We continue to do the same until the end of this row. To complete this row and move on to the next one, we pick up one green bead, then skip one and pass the needle through the next two beads, like this. And we are ready to continue. Now we are in the green part, so we pick up one green bead and pass the needle through the nearest protruding bead. At the corner, we need to pick up two orange beads, then skip the orange bead and pass the needle through the next bead. In our case, it is the brown one. And then we continue as usual. Since we are on the brown part, we pick up one brown bead and pass the needle through the protruding bead. We do this until we reach the corner, where we need to place two orange beads. Continue doing these steps until the end of this row. So for this row we need to place just one green bead. We pick up one green bead and pass the needle through two beads at once. And we are ready to make a new row. We are now on the green part, so we need to pick up one green bead and pass the needle through the first orange bead at the corner. And now we need to pick up one orange bead, and without skipping anything, we pass the needle through the next orange bead at the corner. Next we make the brown part as usual. We have reached the corner. Here again take one brown bead and pass the needle through the first orange bead at the corner. Now we need to pick up one orange bead, and without skipping anything, we pass the needle through the next orange bead at the corner. Continue in the same way until the end of the row. And next I will show you how to finish this row and start making the second side of our hexagon. We only need to place one green bead in this row. Skip one bead and pass the needle through the next two green beads. One side is ready. Now we need to start making the second side. To do this, we need to move the working thread to the first row. Now I'll show you how to do this. Done. The next side will be completely orange. We make the first row using the Peyote technique, including corner beads. We will pick up one orange bead at a time, then skip one bead and pass the needle through the next one. Continue doing this until the end of this row. Now we will finish this row. We just have to pick up an orange bead, then we skip one bead, and to immediately move on to a new row, we pass the needle through two beads at once, like this. And we are on the corner now. On this row, in the corner, we will place two orange beads. The remaining steps are exactly the same as on the previous row. The corner is ready. Now we will pick up one bead at a time and pass the needle through the protruding beads. We do this until we reach the next corner, where we will again place two orange beads, and so on until the end of this row. The row is almost complete. Now we need to pick up a bead, skip one bead and pass the needle through the next two beads. And we are ready to continue. Our thread comes out of the corner and now we need to take one bead and without skipping anything, pass the needle immediately through the next bead. Next we continue peyote until we reach the next corner. We have almost reached the corner and now we need to pick up one bead, then skip one bead and pass the needle through the first bead at the corner. And we are at the corner again. Here we will need to pick up a bead and without skipping anything, pass the needle directly through the next bead. We continue these steps until the end of this row. So we only have one bead left in this row and then we can move on to the next row. We pick up one bead, skipped one bead, and since in this place it is a little difficult to pass the needle through both beads at once, we pass through them one by one. The next row we need to make peyote all the time, without anything specialties for the corners. So let's begin. So we pick up the last bead for this row, then skip one bead and pass the needle through two beads at once, like this. In the next row we will make peyote up to the corners, and in the corners we will need to place two beads. We have reached the corner, and here we need to place two beads. We continue these steps until the end of this row. So all we have to do is place the last two beads in the corner, and our hexagon will be ready. We collect two beads, skip one bead and pass the needle through the next two beads. Our hexagon is ready, and now we need to connect both of its sides to each other. To do this is quite simple. We will need to zigzag the needle through the protruding beads. So let's begin. I will pass the needle through two beads at once. This will work faster. And don't forget to tighten the thread well each time. So we have reached the first corner, and here the connection process is slightly different. First we pass the needle through the brown bead, and then through the first bead from the orange pair at the corner. Next we need to pass the needle through the corner bead on this side. And then through the second corner bead of the orange pair on the other side, like this. Next we continue as usual, and having reached the corner beads, we take the steps that I just showed. The sides are connected and the hexagon is ready. In this technique I don't make knots, but hide the thread in the beads and only then cut the end of the thread. And now our hexagon is completely ready. In my bracelet, such a 3-color hexagon occupies a place in the center of the bracelet. And now I will show you how to make such a 2-color hexagon and how to connect these elements together. The first thing we need to do is take a new thread. Then we need to pick up the following sequence of beads. We need to put the beads down and leave the short end long enough to tie several knots. Then we need to pass the thread through the finished hexagon, like this. And then we pass the needle through all of these beads, but from the opposite side, as we did before. Done. Now we need to make a few knots and then cut off the short end. Our starting ring is ready. Next, I will show you again how to make the first side of hexagon, because you may have difficulties since only 2 colors of beads will be used. But the making process is exactly the same. So, let's begin. The first side is ready and we are ready to start making the second. The second side is made exactly the same as the second side of the first hexagon, since it is one color. I'll make it now and come back to you and show you how to attach the clasp. So, I've completed the second hexagon. Subsequent elements are added in the same way, and you can alternate their colors as you like. Next, I'll show you how to attach the clasp. I'll take brown beads so you can better see the making process. You can take any one. This part will be almost completely hidden under the clasp. See how it looks like on the finished bracelet. So let's begin, and the first thing we need to do is add a new thread. Don't take it too long. I think that 40 centimeters will be more than enough, of course unless you decide to make this element longer. A new thread is added in the same way as it is hidden. We simply pass the needle through the beads in different directions. The thread is ready. Now we will make a simple peyote, and first we will use the protruding beads of our hexagon. I think that's enough. Now we need to hide the threads. Ready, the same thing will need to be done on the other side. And next, I'll show you how to attach the slider. It can be difficult to just pick it up and start attaching it, and it can also damage the threads or beads. So first, I widen the slider a little with scissors. Once the slider is attached, we need to secure it a little with pliers. But do this very carefully so as not to damage the thread or beads. Then we need to press this part. The slider is attached, and all that remains is to attach the ring and the lobster clasp. On the other side, there will be the same slider, but with a chain. That's all. Thank you for being with me in this video. I tried very hard to make this video as detailed and understandable as possible, and I hope you enjoy it. See you in new videos.